Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you are having a great day. So it's been a little while since I did an Andrew Yang video, but I'm still here and I'm still a big Yang Gang supporter. Always will be. So I want to come out and do this video. Of course, we've had an interesting week. We've had what I call the week of missile strikes and coal miners, right? So, many of us know that recently Andrew Yang appeared on The View with his lovely wife, Evelyn Yang. And, of course, the big topic of the week has been the conflict with Iran. Now, of course, as you can see by this article, what Andrew Yang said and what I think many of us believe is that what happened with Trump killing Soleimani was a mistake. And I think most people don't feel very comfortable and confident with the decision that Trump made when he made it, and how we feel about it. And of course, even if you go across the aisle, right, this isn't just something that's happening in the liberal, the Democratic camp. This is something that even Republicans, conservatives, just everybody is not okay with. That want better briefings on it. Why did this occur? You have Republicans who are reminding the president that Congress should be declaring war, not him. And of course, this was one of the main questions that Andrew got, and it was, what would you have done? And Andrew is always, this is where Andrew is the smartest in his answers, right? Smart people use other people's brains. They know how to delegate what needs to be delegated, right? Having the right military strategists and generals in your camp, putting the ability to declare war on Congress, which is their ability, and that's how it should be made. To have a situation like we get with Donald Trump, where he's still kind of playing this king dictator role. He's going to do this, he's going to go after this person, he's going to do that, is very concerning to a lot of people. And I don't think anybody really feels that confident when something like that happens. The rest of the world is not with the United States, right? Many European nations aren't with the United States on this. And if people are concerned about those things when other countries aren't involved, because if it was that dangerous to the world, right, wouldn't it follow that the European nations that are going to be targets as well, probably more so than the United States would be doing something about this to protect themselves? It's that big of a threat. So the timing for a lot of people as well has been problematic, because what you get all this impeachment stuff going on, and you get this Soleimani guy that has been for years a marked target, a person. Trump has come into his term talking about the negative impact of the Iran deal and why he doesn't want to do it. And I'm sure that his briefing on Iran, if Soleimani was such a devastating figure going all the way back to the Carter administration, right, with the Iran hostage situation, going all the way back there, if why wait at the height of the impeachment trials and everything that's been happening as we move right into the election time? And, when I spoke a lot about Andrew Yang and I spoke about he could win this thing, and I believe he could win this thing, I did have one but. If you go back into my videos, and the one but was that if Trump gets into a war, right, if he can confuse Americans so much that their minds are off the elections and on a war, Like what seems to be happening, that could change a lot. And this seems to have been the strategy, I believe, with Trump. Now, in fairness, we don't know all the intel. It could have been that, okay, this is the perfect time to assassinate this person, right? And then they're going to just assassinate him, right, on the airport or whatever. But because I guess the reasoning would be then, it would be less lives in the future or something like that. Whatever reasoning they were using, the briefing that was given to the Congress people, they weren't. Many of them weren't satisfied with it, and again, the timing, it just looks very suspicious. And it looks almost like it's something done for a political gain. It just feels like that, and so that's quite concerning. That if that's the case, and we have a president that makes moves like that just to win elections, putting troops abroad in danger, putting us here domestically in danger, you know, um, it's just kind of concerning about the timing. But Andrew Yang again did a great job of showing the proper temperament, and that's really what he spoke a lot about. The proper temperament is what's necessary to be commander in chief, not to make impulsive decisions. A lot of people don't believe that this was a necessary decision at this time, that it was the proper decision at this time, and how it just came out of blue. If you look at someone like Bin Laden, it had long been, talked about Bin Laden, and he had taken credit for so many things, and it was a process to getting to Bin Laden, right, and killing Bin Laden. But with this was just felt very abrupt. It felt pretty strange and very disruptive to our elections, right? So we're in a new ball game now, and Andrew may have to change up strategies a little bit, because I think things are gonna get a lot more chaotic as we go, we go into these 2020 elections. I don't think they're gonna get any easier now, and I did kind of foresee that if Trump got in trouble, he would pull something like this, right? Again, even on the Republican side, they're not pleased with what's happening here, and a lot of questions are being asked, and I think it's going to continue for a while. And so it's probably going to get a lot more chaotic. Now, Trump had managed to avoid many, many wars, up until this point. And so it was only now when it came to this that we kind of got tangled up into this. And, of course, when everything started happening with the impeachment, a variety of things, it's making some of us believe that might have been what pushed Trump over the edge, because he did do a good job up to now and to stand out of conflicts when he could have found any reason to get in them before now. So we're going to have to sit tight, see what happens with that. We're going to have to see how disruptive this is to Andrew Yang's campaign. But I will say this, that the movement that Andrew Yang has created, I want us to keep that alive. And universal basic income marches that they've been done in some cities and places, it'll be great if we can keep that going. If we could keep universal basic income alive, regardless as to what, and we will eventually see something like that in America. I think what Andrew Yang has done is paved the way so many of us can take this serious and really know we have that option. I don't think many Americans felt we had that before, right? That we could go this route and it could get this far. And Andrew's done a great job. But there are going to be a lot of monkey wrenches thrown at him, and we're getting them now. And so it's going to be very difficult. It's going to get tougher. It's going to get harder. And so we need to keep this going. Even now, like what came up in the View, African Americans aren't voting on Andrew Yang. We're starting to come out, but you know, it's so confusing to me why African Americans are voting on all these other candidates that I don't see how Andrew has to be right when he talks about there just being lack of notoriety with Andrew Yang, because I have been in situations where, you know, a lot of African American people still don't know who Andrew Yang is. They ask me who he is, and they're just not paying that close attention, you know. But we certainly shouldn't be backing people like Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg. You know, it's ridiculous. I just don't understand that. But Andrew's right in the idea that the more known he gets, he's going to pull a lot of African American votes when he gets more known. Not sure what needs to happen for him to be able to do that. I don't know if it's going to take more ads or, you know, the Childish Gambino thing. I would have thought would have done it because you know, he's pretty big in the African American community, and I would have thought that would have been enough. He's tried his best, Childish Gambino, by endorsing Yang, and yet I don't know who these African American people are who are backing these other candidates who I don't think have any of the best interests of the African American community there. But apparently, if those polls are correct, that's what's happening. So we need to really, you know, pay attention to these things. But let's keep universal basic income going. Let's keep it alive. I have a project, Bitcoin NYK. It is a universal basic income project. It uses blockchain technology the hope is to be able to produce something like on the scale of what Andrew's proposing. Now, of course, government has big money and big dollars, and it's nearly impossible to try to do this at the level we need to do it on the government level. But this can help, I believe, in setting the type of setting for getting people accustomed to ideas like universal basic income. So help us by joining our website, helping to promote and push ideas and messages out like universal basic income. Let's keep it alive. I do think it is a big game changer in solutions to many of our ills and the socio-economic problems we experience. But glad to have you guys watching. Glad to say hello to you all again. Let's keep pushing on. Let's make this election big, and let's fight all of these different things that are going to be thrown at us, because there's going to be some crazy stuff coming up over 2020. I can tell you that. We'll leave a link in the description. Don't forget to join our Universal Basic Income Project, BitcoinNYK.com. If you like content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And oh, wait a minute. I almost got through the whole video without talking about coal miners. I'm sorry, guys. So let me just throw this in here right quick. I'm glad I caught it. So, you know, we had this situation with presidential candidate Joe Biden talking about coal miners can learn the program, right? So I'm not going to make a long video about it, but I'm just going to say that you know, this just shows the lack of understanding of what's going on with the technology of the 21st century and the people that we're putting in office who don't understand this. You know, these people are like 70, 80 years old, right? So for Joe Biden to make a comment like, of course, coal miners can program, he doesn't quite understand the complexities of being a computer programmer. I've tried to be a computer programmer, and it's a reason I'm not one, right? So he certainly doesn't understand. It's almost like he's just kind of checking this thing. You could do anything, put your mind to it, and you know, the data has shown, as Andrew Yang has said, that it is hard to retrain 50, 60-year-old people in some cases to do other jobs. And that comment is ridiculous, and I think it just shows a great deal of lack of understanding of you know, the people who are running our country, having to deal with now a cyber battlefield, and I don't think they even understand any of these things that are going on. And we need a 21st century president, right? Everything is run by computers. Everything is by logic and computations, and it's marching further and further along that route. And the fact that we have a person who's leading in the polls to be president on the Democratic side saying something like that just shows immensely the lack of understanding about the entire topic. But let me go ahead and finish wrapping up, guys. I'm just going to say goodbye now. Thank you for watching, and I hope to talk to you all again soon. Take care.